Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into Brainstorm, a groundbreaking exploration into the teenage mind, written by the renowned Daniel J. Siegel. Graduating from Harvard University and conducting pivotal research at the University of California, Los Angeles, Siegel brings a wealth of knowledge to his writings. As a current professor of medicine at UCLA and the head of a psychotherapy practice, he has an enriched perspective on brain development and education, with notable works including Mindsight and Parenting from the Inside Out. Brainstorm unravels the complex world of adolescent brain development, challenging the common misconceptions and negative stereotypes often associated with teenagers. Siegel presents a compelling case that the teenage years are not solely a tumultuous fusion of hormones and cognitive confusion, but rather a vital period of brain growth and formation. This book aims to shed light on the unique opportunities that this developmental stage offers, both for teenagers themselves and for those who support them. This episode is a must-listen for parents and guardians looking to navigate and understand their teenage children better. It's an eye-opener for teenagers weary of being labeled as wasteful, offering them a new perspective on their developmental journey. Beyond family units, psychologists and educators will find Brainstorm enriching, providing deep insights into adolescent behavior and learning processes. Join us as we unpack Brainstorm and reframe the narrative around the teenage years, offering clarity, hope, and a deeper understanding of this critical phase of life. Brainstorm, the power and purpose of the teenage brain. Introduction. Discover the mysteries of the teenage brain. Navigating the tumultuous waters of adolescence can feel like sailing through a storm without a compass. The journey is marked by constant change, emotional upheaval, and the daunting task of carving a path into adulthood. Whether you're reliving your own teenage years, parenting through them, or guiding young minds in a classroom, you're intimately acquainted with the drama and turbulence that characterize this stage of life. Teenagers often find themselves in the crossfire of societal cliches, rebellious, moody, reckless, yet we seldom pause to consider what the worlds of neuroscience and psychology reveal about this crucial phase. Adolescence isn't just a phase of growing pains. It is a pivotal period of transformation with lasting effects on future success and well-being. Embark on a journey into the heart of the teenage brain. This exploration won't just unravel the enigmas of teenage behavior. It will illuminate effective strategies to foster their journey into thriving adulthood. Through this insightful narrative, you will uncover the critical role of pruning in the teenage brain's development, the inherent need for adolescents to engage in risk-taking behaviors, the surprising connection between teenagers and the digital revolution. Dive into the captivating world of the teenage brain and emerge with a deeper understanding and appreciation for this defining chapter of human development. Part 1. Understanding the normalcy of teenage behaviors. The journey of adolescence is often viewed through a lens of dread and exasperation, not just by the teenagers enduring it, but also by the parents and teachers navigating it alongside them. Yet, categorizing this phase merely as a battleground does a disservice to the complex transformation taking place. As children bloom into teenagers, their unconditional admiration for their parents undergoes a seismic shift. Where there was once adoration, there's now embarrassment and critique. This shift, while possibly painful and frustrating for parents, isn't arbitrary. It's a critical part of the adolescent journey toward independence. Teenagers critiquing their parents isn't just teen angst playing out. It's a process of creating emotional distance, essential for the eventual leap out of the nest. This explains the teenager's quest for new experiences and the strong gravitation towards peers. These explorations are rehearsals for the adult world. and attempt to navigate life without the direct oversight of their parents. This period of adjustment can be tough for parents who might find it hard to reconcile with their children's evolving behavior. However, understanding that teenagers are not acting out but rather preparing for their solo journey in the world can help ease this transition. Amid this period of exploration, risk-taking behaviors often surface, giving parents legitimate cause for concern. Actions like joyriding or drunk driving highlight the dangers associated with unbridled adolescent curiosity. While these risks are real, the teenage penchant for exploration and novelty isn't inherently negative. Redirecting this adventurous energy towards safe and constructive outlets is possible and beneficial. Before delving into strategies to channel teenage zest positively, it's crucial to gain a deeper understanding of the teenage brain itself, unveiling the neurological underpinnings of these behaviors. Part 2: Teenagers and the Lure of Risk, a Deeper Look. Imagine a teenager, Katie, a real-life example from the author's therapy sessions, whose adventure-seeking behavior saw her expelled from school. The incident that tipped the scales involved consuming an excessive amount of alcohol at a school function, culminating in a trip to the hospital. A surprising revelation? Katie wasn't unaware of the dangers. The thrill of defiance was simply too enticing to resist. This isn't an isolated case of teenage recklessness, nor is it a matter of ignorance. Adolescents, like Katie, often possess a keen awareness of risks. Their threshold for exploring the edges, however, is notably higher. Katie's story sheds light on a common misconception. Teenagers plunge into risky behaviors due to a lack of understanding. The reality, however, is that they're particularly attuned to danger. Their conduct often stems from a conscious choice to push boundaries, exemplified by Katie's decision to not only bring alcohol to a school event, but also to entice the principal's daughter into joining her. Why do such risky endeavors appeal to teenagers, even when they're aware of potential fallout? The answer lies in the realm of neuroscience, specifically in the way dopamine, a hormone linked to pleasure, functions in the adolescent brain. In teenagers, dopamine not only attaches to pleasure receptors more intensely, but also does so more frequently than in adults, leading to heightened feelings of euphoria during exciting activities. This biological propensity explains why teenagers are drawn to novel and thrilling experiences driven by the promise of an intense dopamine rush. Consequently, their assessment of risk is skewed. The potential for immediate gratification often overshadows the reality of negative consequences. Understanding this aspect of adolescent psychology provides a crucial insight. Teenagers aren't just inherently inclined to seek out risks. They're biologically wired to pursue the extraordinary highs that come with them, often at the expense of safer judgment. Part 3: The Social Whirlwind of Adolescence. More than just peer pressure. Beyond the exhilaration of risk-taking and edging the boundaries, there lies another potent force in the teenage years: the intense gravitational pull towards their social circles. It turns out, the susceptibility of teenagers to peer pressure isn't just a cultural trope. It's deeply ingrained in their development, serving a greater purpose than we might initially think. Take, for example, a fascinating study where teenagers were simulating driving experiences through a computer program. The presence of their peers didn't just slightly alter their behavior, it dramatically increased their propensity for risky maneuvers. Such findings echo across countless anecdotes, illustrating the powerful influence of peer relationships during adolescence. Consider Benji's story. At the age of 13, while living in Spain, he followed local boys to a cliff towering 50 feet above the sea, where he jumped into the water below, spurred on by the thrill and the implicit demand of peer conformity. This leap, although breathtaking, ended with Benji fracturing his leg, a physical cost paid for underestimating the consequences of peer pressure and a lack of knowledge on how to properly execute the jump. But why is the adolescent phase so characterized by intense social engagement? The answer is surprisingly pragmatic and rooted in evolutionary biology. This stage of life is about preparing to leave the safety of the family nest, seeking out new alliances, and eventually establishing independence. Historically, venturing away from one's familial territory was crucial for genetic diversity, allowing adolescents to mate with individuals from different gene pools and thus reducing the risks associated with inbreeding. Today, this evolutionary drive manifests as a teenager's urge to explore beyond their comfort zone, to bond with peers, and to assert their independence. This is not just about rebellion or fitting in. It's an essential phase of growth, pushing teenagers to develop resilience, adaptability, and the skills necessary for adult life. Successfully navigating this social labyrinth can lead to more fruitful opportunities in education and employment, as they learn to thrive in unfamiliar settings and embrace new experiences. Understanding the evolutionary underpinnings and the developmental significance of teenagers' social behavior offers a more compassionate perspective on this tumultuous stage. It reinforces the idea that as much as adolescents are seeking their place in the world, they're also following a deep-seated, age-old blueprint for survival and success. Part 4. Guiding teen thrill seekers towards safer shores. Parenting teenagers is akin to walking a tightrope, striving for a balance between granting them the freedom to explore and ensuring their safety. Some parents lean towards a hands-off approach, trusting in the value of life's lessons learned the hard way. However, stories from the author's own experiences suggest that a mix of freedom and structured guidance yields better results, especially when it comes to managing teenagers' innate urge for excitement. Consider the tale of a teenager known for his reckless driving, culminating in a crash that resulted in him receiving a brand new car from his parents. This lack of consequences not only failed to address his thrill-seeking behavior, but inadvertently encouraged it, leading to another more serious accident. This scenario underscores the crucial role parents play in teaching their children about consequences and providing safer outlets for their adventurous spirit. Teenagers are driven by a biological craving for dopamine, often fulfilled by the exhilaration of speed or risk. Yet indulging this craving through unsafe means like reckless driving poses obvious dangers. The challenge then is to offer alternatives that satisfy this desire without compromising safety. Activities such as athletics, go-kart racing, or skiing present opportunities to experience speed in environments where risks are minimized through supervision and safety gear. The author shares a personal anecdote where skateboarding became a bonding and learning experience with his teenage son. Outfitted with protective gear and under his father's watchful eye, the boy was able to indulge his need for speed in a controlled setting. This strategy demonstrates the benefits of guided risk-taking. Beyond the immediate thrill, engaging in supervised, adrenaline-pumping activities can leave teenagers feeling satisfied, calmer, and less inclined to seek out dangerous alternatives. It's a way to channel their energy positively, teaching them that thrill-seeking and safety can coexist. In summary, while teenagers' quest for thrills is a natural phase of their development, guiding them towards safer ways to satisfy this urge can prevent undesired consequences. By doing so, parents help their teenagers learn valuable lessons about responsibility and the balance between freedom and safety. Part 5. The Teen Brain, a worksite of pruning and myelination. Adolescence often conjures images of untamed behaviors and endless parties, but beneath this stereotypical veil lies an extraordinary phase of brain development. To truly appreciate the dynamism of adolescence, one must delve into the neurological transformations occurring within the brain. A pivotal process during this period is known as pruning. Imagine the brain as a lush forest of neurons and their connections, or synapses. Adolescence acts as a meticulous gardener, trimming away the synapses that are less used, thereby streamlining the brain's neural pathways. This selective pruning is influenced by the adolescent's experiences and interests. For example, a child engrossed in music prior to adolescence is more likely to retain those neural pathways related to musical ability, as the brain recognizes their importance based on past engagement. This sculpting of the brain doesn't just end indiscriminately, it's a refined process extending into adulthood, emphasizing the significance of adolescents having clear interests, such as music or sports. These interests guide the pruning process, ensuring the preservation of neural pathways that are actively utilized. But what of the pathways that survive this cull? They undergo a transformative process called myelination. In this stage, the surviving neural connections are fortified with a fatty substance known as myelin, enhancing the speed and efficiency of information transfer across the brain's network. This biological process underpins the adolescent's capacity to refine skills begun in childhood, contributing to greater proficiency and swifter cognitive functions. Beyond skill refinement, myelination and pruning together foster the emergence of sophisticated critical thinking abilities. Teenagers emerge from adolescence not only with sharpened talents, but also with the cognitive tools to question, analyze, and reflect, skills that are fundamental for navigating the complexities of the adult world. So, while the external manifestations of adolescence might sometimes puzzle or exasperate adults, it's essential to recognize this period for what it truly is, a critical phase of brain development, laying the groundwork for a lifetime of learning, reasoning, and innovation. Part 6. Nurturing innovation in the adolescent mind. The quest for identity and autonomy is a hallmark of the teenage years, often manifesting as a profound yearning to break from the status quo. This isn't merely a bid for independence, it serves a far grander purpose. Adolescents, the architects of tomorrow's society, are in a period of intense preparation, honing their skills to reshape social dynamics and structures. A pivotal aspect of this preparatory phase is the blossoming of creative innovation. Unlike their younger counterparts who absorb information passively, teenagers wield a newfound capacity for abstract thought, introspection, and ingenuity. This transition enables them to conjure unique solutions to challenges, viewing the world through a lens of boundless possibility. Consider the digital revolution and the advent of social media. It was teenagers who grasped the internet's potential for revolutionizing how we connect. Their innate curiosity and eagerness to explore new frontiers have propelled platforms like YouTube, turning them into cultural phenomena powered by youthful energy and vision. However, this exploratory drive can sometimes lead teens into uncharted and misunderstood territories. Take, for instance, a real-life scenario involving the author's son's band. In their quest for musical exploration, they cranked up amplifiers to maximum volume during a practice session in a school basement, nearly causing structural damage. The school's immediate reaction was to ban them from further use of the facility. Upon reflection, though, it became clear that the teenagers' actions weren't born out of a desire for rebellion or destruction. They were experimenting, driven by a genuine compulsion to innovate and push the boundaries of what they could achieve musically. Recognizing this, a compromise was reached that allowed them to continue their practices, so long as they adhered to established rules. This incident underscores a critical truth about adolescent development. Teenagers are not just acting out, they are actively testing the waters of creativity and innovation. For parents, educators, and society at large, the lesson is clear. While it's crucial to guide and provide boundaries for teenagers, it's equally important to understand and nurture their innovative impulses. Missteps and overreaches are part of the learning process, serving as valuable opportunities for growth rather than mere transgressions. Embracing this perspective not only fosters a supportive environment for teenagers to develop their creative potential, but also paves the way for the next generation of innovators, thinkers, and leaders. Part 7. Fostering reflective conversations amongst teenagers. The adolescent years are marked by a heightened desire for social acceptance, juxtaposed with feelings of awkwardness and self-doubt. Many teenagers grapple with fears of rejection, longing to be valued for their authentic selves. Yet, navigating the complex social waters of adolescence doesn't have to be a solitary journey. there are valuable strategies to aid teens in cultivating meaningful connections. At the forefront of these strategies is the encouragement of reflective conversation. This entails open, unfiltered communication about one's thoughts, feelings, dreams, and observations. The essence of reflective conversation lies not in the topics of everyday banter, such as chores or sports, but in the exploration of deeper, more personal themes, dreams, aspirations, relationship challenges, and even delicate subjects like love and sexuality. Parents play a pivotal role in modeling and guiding these conversations, setting the stage for a communicative environment where vulnerability is not just accepted but encouraged. By engaging in reflective conversations themselves, parents can show their teenagers how to articulate their innermost thoughts and feelings in a constructive manner. This skill, once honed, empowers teens to approach their peer interactions with greater authenticity and confidence. Beyond improving communication skills, reflective conversations carry the profound benefit of nurturing empathy. Groundbreaking research into the neuroscience of empathy has revealed that engaging in thoughtful dialogue, whether internally or with others, positively impacts the brain, particularly the prefrontal cortex. This region, responsible for planning, problem solving, and tuning into the emotional states of others, becomes more developed and integrated through the practice of reflective conversation. Empathy, born from this neurological growth, transcends emotional understanding. It becomes a bridge to genuinely connecting with others, fostering a deep sense of kinship and mutual respect. By actively participating in reflective dialogue, teenagers embark on a path toward empathy at a crucial developmental juncture, laying a solid foundation for lifelong relationships. Thus, if we aspire to see teenagers realize their fullest potential, it behooves parents, educators, and mentors to champion reflective conversations. By doing so, we not only equip them with the tools for effective communication and empathy, but also help pave their way to becoming thoughtful, compassionate adults. Final summary. Teenagers frequently find themselves at the receiving end of criticism, labeled as disobedient, idle, or lacking in intellect. Yet this view overlooks the profound growth and development occurring during the adolescent years. Adolescence is not merely a phase of rebellion, it's a time when critical skills, vital for navigating adulthood, are cultivated. These skills encompass self-awareness, analytical reasoning, self-reliance, and the ability to form meaningful social connections. Despite the rich potential brewing within them, teenagers require guidance and support to steer their exploratory instincts and tendency towards risk-taking in constructive directions. They stand on the cusp of greatness, poised to contribute significantly to society, but they can't do it alone. They need the adults in their lives, not just parents and teachers, but all role models, to foster open lines of communication and to understand the value of teaching empathy. By encouraging teenagers to engage in impactful conversations that delve into personal reflections, dreams, and desires, we help them to hone their empathy, a cornerstone of enduring relationships and successful community integration. Empathy, paired with the powerhouse of skills developed during these formative years, equips teenagers to face the challenges of adulthood with resilience and grace. So, rather than dismissing teenagers for their perceived shortcomings, it's imperative to recognize and nurture the tremendous growth happening within them. With proper support and constructive outlets for their boundless energy and creativity, there's no limit to where they can go. Their journey through adolescence is not just about surviving, it's about thriving and preparing to make their mark on the world. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.